Hello everyone! Here we are! It's another stream, and in order to facilitate it being a stream, I have to tell people it's a stream. So, everyone, come and see one of my favourite games of ever. Twitch.tv Demon Tomato Dave. Send! I've just sent that on the old Discord there, and now to pop over to Twitter. Sometimes things can be a bit much. But this stream will not be. Come and see lovely things, little sheep, piggies, windmills, and beautiful music. I've wanted to show you this for literally years. Tweet. There we go. Are we currently on the air? I believe we are. I can now close that. Hello, Max. Hello to Max. Look, I'm fiddling with him. I'm fiddling with him. Fiddle, fiddle, fiddle. And also I can fiddle with these bottoms. Wait a minute. I don't remember it calling up a window. I distinctly remember fiddling with bottoms because when you press it, there, look. See? You can make the finger fiddle. And, oh, we used to be able to fiddle with the bottoms. Can't do that now for some reason. What's that? What's Gog's problem? There we go, fiddle. Can't even reach those bottoms. Hi, so we're going... Oh no! Oh no, Max is calling the police! Oh, look, a sheep! Look, a sheep! There's gonna be sheep today. Oh, actually, this sheep is better than the ones we're gonna have today. Look at its little dot eyes. That's a brilliant sheep. I'm gonna immediately hunt it. Hi, everybody. We're gonna be playing a game today, and this isn't it. This is just what I'm doing while I wait for people to sort of file in. Hunter. I've never built a hunter first. Let's see what happens. As you can see, this is The Settlers 2, a game that we have been playing a lot. I've done a lot of streams of The Settlers 2, and this isn't one of them. This is not, and you may have noticed that the stream says that it isn't this. And that's because it isn't. However, I'm just, just doing this for the first couple of minutes before I show you what we're actually going to be playing today, because it's been a bit of a... I haven't seen you for a little bit. And in that time, because I've been very busy, I've been working on new music for my live show in Leicester next weekend. Is it Sunday today? Yes, alright, so a week today, then, will be my live show. And so I've been making new songs for that. And that's a lot of work. It's been taking a lot of energy and time. So I haven't seen you in a little bit. But in the time since I've last seen you, there's been some Settley events. There's been a trailer for a brand new Settlers game, which actually appears to be a Settlers game. Now, I don't know if you remember this, but a while ago I played a game called, something like Kingdoms of Anteria, something like that, which started out being called The Settlers Kingdoms of Anteria, or something like that. And by the time it came out, it had dropped the Settlers name, and that's because... That's actually, they were right to do that. That wasn't... I'm completely in favour of them having done it, and there's nothing cynical involved in it. Because that game was pants. And it was a load of pantsy rubbish, and it was nothing whatsoever. Sorry, I'm adjusting my microphone. I don't know if you can hear the noises of that. Don't know if they make noises. Hi, 8-Bit Star Fox! Hey, check it out. You're going to see something quite exciting, Settlers-wise, in a minute. Yeah, so, where was I? Yeah, they brought out this Settlers game that actually was basically more like a kind of... Imagine if a World of Warcraft raid was described to a person who'd never played the game or understood what was good about it, and then tried to make that fit into Settlers. And in doing so, the actual settling part, which is the good part, the building of houses and the sending out of people to murder sheep. Oh no. Here he goes. Is he interested in that sheep? There he goes. Dong. Rug-a-dug-a-dug-dug. The interesting part of the settlers, the building of the settlements, was basically made into absolutely nothing. And this echoed something that happened to the settlers over the years. And if you'll just permit me to tell you a little bit about it just for a moment, while fiddling about with this, then we'll get to the actual game we're here to play today. So, where's a sawmill there? The Settlers games, as you can see, are all about putting down little houses and then waiting for the little houses to be built with little planks of wood and little people who've got little tools, and then when they've got their little house, then they start doing the thing. And that's what Settlers is, right? Over the years, and I would also, in 1993 and then later 7, when I was playing the original and then this game, I came to this game a little bit late, it came out before that, but I didn't have a PC, they went PC only, and it felt like something of a betrayal for Amiga kids, because Settlers was an Amiga native game. By the way, can you hear me? Should I turn my microphone up? I probably should, shouldn't I? Evening, Life's a Bitch Matt. Evening, Ender Eagle. There, if I turn my should I turn my microphone up or not? That's it up. That's it really up. That's it middle. What do you think? How about this? And we'll turn those infernal tweetings down a bit. Oh, but first, before we do, let's have some pleasant music. Sound was fine. It was fine to begin with. I've spoiled it now, probably. Let's have the nice music on. There we go. And let's turn those sound effects down. Come on. There we go. There we go. We can rest a little bit now. Can you hear me still over the music? I'm guessing you can. Over the years, the Settlers changed. One of the things I can't tell you why, but one of the things that I loved about it was its roads. You know, you build a house, and that house cannot be built just out there. You have got to connect it with a road. And once you've got that, road, I preferred calling them paths. It kind of annoyed me to call them roads, because roads felt modern, whereas these are olden daisy paths, right? And the people can then walk around, because for some reason settlers who have certain jobs can't walk on grass. Some can, if their job is about walking on grass. The woodcutter will be perfectly able to, for instance, but not these guys who carry things, not the economy. These paths form the flow of the economy, and that's what this game is all about. What a terribly boring word. I'm so annoyed that I've even said it. Well, Settlers 3 took away the paths, and we were going to play Settlers 3 next, but I found that I simply could not stream it. Everything I tried, I've got the GOG version, so it runs nicely, but actually streaming it is, as far as I can tell, literally impossible, because to even get it to... I had to download like a third-party random thing to make it like appear in the format that you need to stream at all, and it just came up as a blank screen, so there's nothing I could do. Unless, I suppose technically I could stream my monitor, my whole monitor, but then you end up seeing like my icons and my desktop and stuff. You know, that feels weird to me. Because it's full screen only, so you can't tab out to, you know, stop the recording before you stop the game, and also there's presumably going to be formatting. Anyway, I found it very difficult to stream Settlers 3. But Settlers 3 was a game that took away the paths, and instead, it also took away this thing of like, when you put a house down, the appropriate settlers appear and populate it. No, you'd start off with just a crowd of settlers. It was really weird. It was, if you'll allow me. Uncanny. And you start off with them, and then and some of them are already like fighter ones, and I found it very weird. We will play it, however, because this week Ubisoft and Blue Byte, who's like Blue Byte, are the people who make these games and always have been. Ubisoft basically bought them and started producing them a few years ago. Jointly, they announced that not only is there going to be a new Settlers game at the end of next year, just called The Settlers, so that's annoying. I'm going to be calling it Settlers 8, probably. But not only is there going to be a new Settlers game, and friends, it looks good. It looks really nice. But also, they're re-releasing what would appear to be all of the previous Settlers games in one big pack in a couple of months, in November. And yes, of course I'm going to be buying it. Of course I'm going to be buying it. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, because I'm some sort of a fool. Can you pre-order it? Let's find out. I'm going to go onto Steam right now. Yeah, they're re-releasing all the Settlers games, and that, to me, suggests... And they unfortunately, they put the word modernized in there, and I'm a little bit worried that they're going to, you know, change it in any way at all, because I want them to be exactly the same as they ever were. But to look at the actual, like, trailer that they did for that, they show some fairly... The actual settler walking along the bottom of the screen throughout it looks like they've redone him. I don't know why. But the actual, like, images in the background of the games that they're talking about seem to be untouched, except to make them be widescreen and that sort of thing. And frankly, that is great. That would solve a few problems, because for instance, Settlers 6, a brilliant game. I can't wait to play it again while streaming it for you. That is a game that is HOR minus. Now, I don't know if you know what that means, but you'll notice that we're playing here a square game from old computers. Well, monitors still really aren't officially widescreen in the way that TVs are, and people have different size and shape ones. But if you want to take an old game and play it on a widescreen monitor, then ideally the way to do that would be with some kind of fix that works in a HOR plus sort of way, which is to say, extra game will appear at the sides of the screen. So if I was to move the square into the middle of your screen with the black bars at either side instead of just on the chat side, and then I was to pull out the sides of the game, which I can't do because this is actually an old game, not a you know, mod one. If I could pull the sides out and you could see more game, then that is the appropriate way to play an old or to play a 4x3 game on a widescreen monitor. But imagine instead if the only way to do it was to zoom in on the picture so that you could only see from, let's say, you know, about that hunter's hut there and those bottom of those rocks to about like this line down there. If that middle bit, and not even the statues at the corners, and not even the buttons, if all you could see was the middle of the screen, that would be an inappropriate way to play this game, right? And that is what HOR minus is. Now, actually, no, I've said it wrong, because usually you do get the HUD. But even there, you know, that's a fixed graphic. Someone would have to fix it. But, okay, Settlers 6 is a game where if you play it on a widescreen monitor, and this was true back when it came out, because they already existed, then you would be zoomed in on the game area. You'd still have the buttons and the HUD around the edge, but you would be seeing less, and there was no way to fix that by zooming out. And that puts you at a disadvantage, and it just kind of makes the whole thing look kind of weird and unpleasant. Well, hopefully this new collection is going to fix that, and that will be the version that we play together. If not, I was planning on just, you know, streaming it in 4x3 like this. Because I've never played it that way. I played it in 14.9 or 14.10 or whatever it was that those in-betweeny laptop screens were. Anyway, here's why we're actually here today. Let's see who we've got. We've got Ziffy. Hello. We've got Blue Asian. Hello there. We've got Ender. I've already said hello to Ender. Okay. Here's the deal then. I've had a concern about one of my favourite games for years, and that is the Settlers 7. Technically, sort of, the last Settlers game they ever made. It came out a long time ago, friends. It came out in 2010, and I bought it as soon as it came out. Now, I had my reservations because Settlers 3, as I've told you, was a disappointment to me. Settlers 4, I kind of enjoyed, but it was basically Settlers 3 again. Settlers 5? I've never played Settlers 5, because when it came out, it looked awful. Instead of little lumpy people, the Settlers were these, like... I mean, it was trying to be Age of Empires, right? So they were these realistically proportioned people. Everything was grey. There was no green. Look at this green. There was none of that. It was all grey. It looked awful. I didn't play it. I thought they'd jumped the shark. I thought it was like Kingdoms of Antaria. But then, something interesting happened, which I'm going to tell you about another time, and it meant that I was able to suddenly not mind about them changing what Settlers is. So I played Settlers 6, a Settlers game that appeared to be nothing like this. And I found it to be so charming and so beautiful and so much fun, and we're going to be playing it together. But then they brought out the Settlers 7. And the Settlers 7 was back to being this, because Settlers 6 is more narrative based. That's why I was weird about it. You're controlling an individual character on a horse who goes and does quests, and meanwhile you're building your town at home. And they got the balance right, unlike Kingdoms of Antaria. It was lovely. I thought it was great. But then Settlers 7 came out, and they had a focus on trying to make it more like this. More like an old-fashioned kind of, sort of like an evolved board game type thing. And it was the first really online one. You could play a bit online in Settlers 6, but Settlers 7 was the first one that was like natively the kind of game you can play against online opponents. And somehow that made it go back to something like its roots. So, we are now going to play Settlers 7. I've been waiting for literal years to show you this. When I bought it originally, right? And then they started bringing out DLC for it and so on, and I didn't buy any of that. But I waited, and then in 2015, 5 years after I first got the game and became obsessed with it, it came out on... it had been out for a bit on Steam, and I bought the complete pack that's got all the extra stuff that I'd never seen in one of my favourite games. And No! Was that 2015? I think that was 2013. No, 2013 was the last time I played it. Then I bought it on Steam in 2015, and have been getting round to showing you it ever since. And originally I thought it was going to be YouTube videos. It's going to be streams, and I can't wait to show you this. So you're going to see this, but super nice and lovely. Are we ready for that? Because here we go. First, I shall quit that one. And now we shall find out what specific thing prevents this game from loading up now. So, the thing is, I've been so worried because this is the other thing you need to know. This game, when it first came out, it was one of the first 2 games, I believe, to try an extremely controversial new thing, which meant that people boycotted it. And they were right to, even though it's one of my favourite games ever. Well, right to is a strong term. It was a stand that was reasonable to make, because this game has always online DLC. So it's entirely possible I might not be able to load it up, because at any moment Ubisoft could simply switch it off, and I will never again be able to play my favourite game. That's not true. It was cracked immediately. But I've never played any PC game, I think, cracked. I don't think I've ever illegally downloaded a PC game. I think that's safe to say. And I don't want to start with my favourite game ever, but I might have to if they switch it off. But so far they haven't, and my concern is that when they re-release Settlers 7 as part of this pack, modernized in a way, we don't know why, we don't know how, but the word modernized is in the trailer. Will they then use that excuse to switch off the Settlers 7 servers? I don't know. And if the re-release isn't perfect, will that be my favourite game? I don't know if it's my favourite game, but certainly one of my favourite games ever gone. So we have to preserve it, fellas. Hi, Gallus XXXX. Congratulations on hitting whatever jackpot you hit. Okay, here we go. I've hit play. Because this is an old game, 8 years old, it has some trouble loading that we have to get past. It thinks every single time you load it up that it needs to update, but I have the update, so we just have to wait for it to suggest I install the update, and then I put no, and then we just carry on. So as you may well agree that's an invitation for error, isn't it? So who knows? It might go wrong, but it's loading up now. I've got a little spinny ring on my arrow, and while I enjoy that, I'm loading up the Settlers 7. Or am I? Because as predicted, it hasn't quite worked. It works every single time I try and load it up, but because I'm streaming, it's going to be funny about it. Let's just see. Here we go. No, there we go. Because also it has to load up Uplay, of course, which is the Ubisoft nonsense. One or more updates was found and downloaded. No. Okay, here we go. I promise you, it has actually started loading. We now sit through the 20 customary seconds of blank screen. And now we have a loading illustration. Oh, I'm going to put my headphones on so that you can hear the music without any echo back, because the music in this game... Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Hang on a minute. The music in this game... Oh, no! I've just realised. I'm going to have to switch it off. I'm going to have to switch it off and just do a bit of fiddling. Sorry about this. And then we're going to start again. Because I want you to see the intro to this game. I think it's artfully done. But it's also a bit much. It's a bit over the top. But it involves, and it in fact relies on, the music, which I've switched off because we've been listening to podcasts. Okay. Okay. So there we go. I've now put the music back on, and now we're going to enjoy Settlers 7. Okay, so now I have to do that whole rigmarole again of loading it up. I need to be something. There's always something. Oh, it turns out the entire something is just the time it takes to log into Uplay. So I should have done that ahead of time. Okay, there we go. Loading. Okay, here we go. Check out this way over the top intro. The visuals are not what's over the top. This lady is.
When the world grows still and twilight falls, you will stand alone and gaze afar. The voice once hushed, now strong and clear, it's calling.
Look at these settlings!
In the truest of your dreams, you have longed to yield to the yearning motion.
Yeah! Give us a little yelp.
Awaken your hero within.
Woo! Here we are, Settlers 7! I've wanted to show you this for ages. Look at these lovely little houses!
Now the shadows fall. Fear not what lies ahead, for your hands are strong. This time your doubts will fade. With trust you will find your way. Dream no more, sweet hero.
Dream no more, sweet hero.
Take
Yeah! Da 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 dum 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 dum. Here we are, Settlers 7. So, let's start a free play game. It's actually quite difficult to do. I don't remember how to do it in between goes. It's not the campaign, I guess skirmish, maybe. Customize. Map Forge, Castle Forge. See, I've got all of this stuff now. I've got these expansions. But what I want to do is like just play a game. Let's try this. Aha! Oh, lovely. Here we go. Oh, I've got everything all unlocked. Oh, thanks very much, Matt. I'll have to turn her down a little bit. The Forest Realm is located in a wide open... Oh, look! Oh, I've disappeared you. I've disappeared you all. I'm sorry. How shall I fix that? Hang on. Doink! There you are. There you are. I don't know how well you're going to show up because I'm keeping this full screen just for a couple of minutes. That's the black screen of tabbing back to the game. I see it as a white screen. Interesting that you get it as black. So I guess that tells us something about the nature of it. Anyway, well, this sounds nice, doesn't it? The Forest Realm. It's huge. The Throne of Tandria. Wow, what's going on in the... Oh, there's all sorts kicking off in the Throne of Tandria, Matt. Whoa, I've got loads now! Oh, wow, there only used to be a few. Okay, well, we're going to have the Forest Realm because it sounds good. Oh, listen to that. Isn't that nice? Co-op mode we've got now, lovely. Cool, 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 cool. Let's okay to that. What options will it give us? We've got an opponent there, we've got an AI player. Yep, that's fine. Anything else I need to edit? Probably not. Let's just go. Alright. So. Settlers 7 is fantasy times, Matt. Yes. It did, Blue Asian. And we're about to see footage of it. Bum, 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 bum. And we're about to hear very nice music of it as well. All the music in this, and Settlers 6, I'd say even Settlers 6 has the better soundtrack. Here we are! Here we are in our realm. And this is our starting position now. I've complained before about automatic starting positions. I will not in this game because for some reason I don't mind it. Here's our castle. And here is where we first build. And here is the whole wide world. Look at it there, stretching out before us. Oh, look at it. I'll tell you more about it in a minute, but first of all, we're concerned only with our area.
No. Your enemy can now use a new trading outpost.
Oh no! Okay, the enemy's really launching ahead. Oh no! Okay, never mind that. We're going to try and play in a kind of calm manner before we ever worry about him. But the game is going to keep reminding us that we've got an opponent. I don't care about the opponent, so forget about him. Here we are. This is our land. How much of it is ours, I don't know. Why there's a red ring around that, I don't know. But I'm guessing it's going to be everything within these walls. Because this Settlers... Well, more on that in a minute. We've already got a couple of buildings, and as you know, I'm not keen on that. Why am I giving this game so many passes on things that I've complained about in Settlers 2 and 3? Well, I don't know, you'll see. I just really like it. What have we got here? That's an export office. Those are noble residences. We've got a baker's here. Yes, lovely. Okay, so... what have we got there? Oh, a marketplace. Oh, lovely. Oh, fantastic. Oh, great. Okay, so... let's start with the basics. In this Settlers, as in all the older ones, we begin by gathering the basics. Now, if we zoom out, we can find out straight away what our starting position has to offer. It's got wood, it's got fish, it's got stone. Let's find them. I mean, there's wood everywhere. We can just pick any trees we want to harvest. Now, the best thing to do is to go quite close to home. This little cluster of buildings is evidently sort of the centre of our realm. What's the nearest trees to that? Maybe these ones. Oh, can you see my cursor? I think you can, right? Ah, and there's stone. Ah, and we already have a quarry. Bit of a cheat, really. Okay. Well, I'll put it here. No, where was it? Oh, we've already got farms. Why are they starting me off with stuff? Stop it. Okay, well, never mind that. Aha! There's already a path here. So let's use that. So, what we have to do, it's a little... Oh no, we've already got a flipping woodcutter. Right. It's a little bit different in this Settlers than in other Settlers. And here's how. This is our build menu, and this is our entire build menu.
You've received a victory point.
Okay, good. And we'll look at that in a moment. This is it. These are all the buildings we can have. And there seem to be only 6 of them. But wait, if we hover over this one, a lodge, that also has, sort of under it, fisherman, hunter, sawmill, woodcutter, forester. Here's why. Here it is. Here's our... This is the house we're going to put down. And as you can see, it's got these 3 positions around it. And we have to find somewhere that can utilise as many of them as possible. There's a position. Oh, can I get any closer to the trees? Not really. Okay, so we'll put it down in here. And we'll connect a path. I get to build paths in this one. And now what we have is going to be a basic sort of lodge, which is a basic unit of house that then allows us to build certain other things. It is a bit weird and sort of needless and convoluted, but you'll see as it goes along what it means. And in this case, it means we're going to put down a woodcutter, which will then be built attached to this lodge. Oh, look, a little bit of details there. Somebody's made a little map and some little swords. And they've stuck a little knife in the map. Oh, I've not seen that before. I mean, I'm sure I have. I've been playing this for 8 years. Let's have another woodcutter. Why not? We can do with a lot of wood. This abacus down here... Oh, here he goes. Here's our fella. Building our... Look at this little plan that he's got. Thank you. One last big bang and... Now then. Let's pause it. And yes, this is one of those lovely games that lets you move things around in pause mode. Look at the settlers in this game. They're like little wood-carved fellas. I love them. I love them. Because they basically they knew they were going to make for 2010 a quite CPU intensive game, but it needed to work online. So they simplified everything, and as a result, you have these brilliant little designed guys. I just think they're great. Some people might think it's a compromise, and I don't even know if it was done for a compromise reasons, or if it was just an art style they wanted to go with. But like, oh, I love him. Thanks, little builder. Away you go. Oh, and he's just going to stand nearby. Oh, because he's going to start the woodcutter site. Look at this. This is nice. Little stone with flowers on it. Oh, we had a little freeze there. And with that built, now we wait for its occupant. Is this his occupant? No, this just looks like another guy. Another builder. Where's he going? Oh, maybe he's about to convert into... Maybe he's gone to live in the lodge and he's about to convert into a woodcutter. Let's find out. Oh no, of course, he's building the other one that I asked for. So where's our woodcutter? And look, in this one you can kind of be a settler. Look, you can be like, do, I live in Settler World.
You've received a victory point.
Thank you.
Well done, friend.
Don't know why. Or you can zoom way up. Aha, is this him? He's got a different lolloping gait. Gotta be. Let's have a look at him. Gotta be. Yeah, he looks like a woodcutter, doesn't he? And he looks like a woodcutter from fantasy times. Look at that, there's a little fortress over there.
You're losing a victory point.
It's alright, I don't care. It's alright.
Good news. You've received a victory point.
Great, thanks. Oh, looks like he stopped off somewhere to pick up an axe. Is he straight off to work? He's straight off to work. Lovely. Thanks, little guy. Oh, look at him. He just gave it a little test. Look at him. Total fellas. This guy, literally a fella. Oh, look at him! Because this wouldn't be a Settlers game if you didn't get to watch them do their work. That is what Settlers is all about.
Yippee! New rewards await you.
Yippee! But what are they going to do with that wood? Really, it'd be good if there was a sawmill. But sawmill or not, something that is different in this game is that they don't just leave things outdoors at flags like they used to. Instead, they take them to these, which are little storehouses. So essentially you can think of the storehouses as the flags. And so, if you want to speed their production up, you pop down a storehouse just near their house. And then they only have to go that far. Dum, doom, bum, 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 bum. Last I played was Settlers 3, which was set in all of the Ancient Gods times. Yes, it was, with some badly animated Ancient Gods. Here's a sawmill guy's place.
Someone should look for rewards.
You know what a sawmill guy's place is called? It's called a sawmill. and here it is. It's not a hut like in the olden days, because Settlers, you guys, it's all about watching them do their work. This time they're going to do it out in the open. We're going to watch them saw those planks. What have we got? We've got a little handle on a crank, which I realise, I now realise looking at it, this has gone into my soul, and it's in my novel. I've used this plate with this handle on it in my novel. I don't know if you were there when I read out that part, but it's part of Grum's equipment. I mean, it's just a handle that turns a dish thing. It's not a super original idea in either case, but I bet that's where I got the idea from. Come on, I want a sawmill man. Where are you? I want a sawmill man to saw my wood. Ba 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 ba.
There are rewards available.
You look like a sawmill man. Hello. But now you need to go and find some wood, don't you? So he's going to rush off to the nearest storehouse. He's got some wood. Look, you can see it tells you, because it's a bit difficult to see what they're carrying from far out, so they get a little icon over their heads. And let's see him do his job. Let's see how you get planks in Settlers 7. Look at you! You sweet little unit. Yeah, just test the weight of it. Up we go, here we go, he's going! And,
Hey, pick up your rewards.
Yay! Whoopsie! Sorry, turned the camera around at the worst moment there. And he's got his planks! And away he goes with his planks! Off to the storehouse, where these guys, I don't know what they're there for, they're just waiting to be helpful.
The people up north smell funny.
Hey, that is rude. They're waiting to be carriers if anything needs carrying. So, you've seen basically how this works now. Let's pop down a fisherman over here.
Another victory point. That's a first step towards becoming a respectable rival.
Really?
Keep it up.
And over here, we've already got a stonecutter's hut. Let's have another one. There he is, look! And look, they're totally different models for every settler. Blue Asian says, that must be very heavy work without any help from animals, water or wind.
A new trading outpost has been discovered by your rival.
I see. You're actually speaking sensibly. I thought you were doing a sort of joke, and I couldn't think what it was. Okay, hang on a minute. Nobody can see the chat, can they? I wonder if there's a way that I can improve that. I mean, I could put the background back on it, but I don't want to... I don't know how to do a semi-transparent background. You're just going to have to squint. I'll read stuff out. You'll manage. Okay, let's wait the customary 20 seconds. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 10. Clicked on 11 this game. 12. And it's 13 takes. 14. A while. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. And around about now we should get back to the game. Here it is. Lovely. I don't know why it takes that amount of time when you've tabbed out and tabbed back in. It just does. Okay. So you've seen the basics now. Now, here are some new things. This is the marketplace. This can be anywhere on the map. As it happens in this one, it's right inside our starting area. And what we do with that is we can send... If I click on it, it gives us two options, look. Coats to money, rings to money. So if I happen to have some coats or rings, and as I hover over them, look at the top, it tells you how many I've got. I've got 4 coats, but I need 3 to get any coins. I got 2 rings, which is how many I need. And if I go there, they'll give me money for them, so I can sell coats at the marketplace. But I haven't really got many coats to sell. And so what we do... Oh, look at that. What we do is we go on trading journeys. This is the trading map, and this is a totally separate bit of the game. And depending on which of these places we go to, we can start to add extra transactions to the marketplace. So this one here is a good one. £3 will get us a lump of iron, right? By the way, can you hear my voice, or do I need to turn the music down? Okay, so I've now put a pin in that, but I can't go there yet until I've got 2 of these guys. See? And up at the top, I've got no guys. Hawkers, they're called. Well, this brings us to the selling point of this game. They sold it that there are 3... It's called Paths to an Empire, right? And, I hate when my in-game maps use the Mercator projection. I don't know what that is, but I'm interested. Do let me know. Sorry, nobody answered. Can you hear me over the music, or do I need to turn it down? I wonder if I'm so quiet that you can't hear me even ask that. This game is called Paths to an Empire. And the reason for that is that you can choose one... Do you know what? I am turning it down because I can hear myself trying to shout. So, let's turn the sound, just for the music, down a bit. Okay, there we go. Paths to an Empire. There are 3 paths in this game. There's trade, there's religion, and there's fighting. Now this level has started us off with the export office. That's useful because the export office is trade. And that's useful because you see they're all greyed out. There's the church, stronghold for the army, and there's the export office. Currently not unlocked. You have to unlock them. And so when a level starts you off with one, it just makes it useful. So at the export office, I can make the 2 hawkers that I wanted. They cost 1 coat and 1 person each. Look at the top, I've got 4 coats, and I can afford 6 people because I've got 40, and my town currently can hold 46 people. We can deal with that by putting houses down for them. Little houses and big houses. Little houses, big houses. And again, look, extra things around the edge. They each allow us to build different kinds of place. So we'll put down a little house first because we're going to need some of the sort of thing that you can do at a little house.
Very good. Your traders successfully established a new trading outpost.
Aha! That means that after I created those 2 hawkers... In fact, let's do it again because you missed it. Because I made you miss it. Let's say we go to... either way we need 4 guys. Ah, but I can't. Oh, we'll have to do that later. Anyway, point is, the little guys went from there to here, and now, if I click on the marketplace, look, there's an extra one. I can now get iron. And that's very useful if I haven't got a source of iron, which in my land I haven't. Look, I've got wood, fish, and stone. And that is it. Now, where is the nearest iron? It's there. So I want to expand my kingdom to there, because I want iron, I want coal, and I want coal, and I want gold. And there's coal and gold. Or there's coal. Or there's gold and coal. Okay, so there's all sorts of places I can go. At which point we start looking at other factors to decide how we go. Now you'll remember, in Settlers 1 and 2, to expand your realm, you place a knight's hut near the outside of it, and, you know, that just gives you more land. Well, not so in this one, because as you can see, it's all divided up into chunks already. The game has ideas as to what all these different places are. So what we do is, here's our army in the castle. We've got 7 guys. We go to somewhere that we want to take over. Let's say this one. And we see what they've got waiting in their little stronghold. They've got 5 army guys, but if we click on it, we can get this area of the map a number of different ways. Either we can have more than 5 army guys, which we have, so we could do that. Or we could send proselytism, or we could send bribery. Now, notice, the bribery cost is 15 coins for this place, and I've only got 10, so that's no good. Proselytism, 7 monks. Now let's say we wanted to do that. Let's say we wanted to do religion. Because, oh, I want to do religion. Because I want to show you something so good. I want to show you something so sweet. It's not anything like magic or godlike or anything. It's just sweet. Well, we need to unlock it. And you know all of those victory points we've been getting? That's been giving us prestige. I don't know how we've been getting the victory points. We'll look at that in a minute. But I can open this prestige menu. Now notice I've got 4 green poggle beads, and I need just 1 more to go up to the next bit of prestige, but you'll see what that is in a minute. If I open this, here's our unlock tree. I've got 1 point, so I can unlock 1 thing. And in this case, I'm going to unlock this middle bit, which gives us the option to have a church. See, stronghold, export office, and church. The 3 paths to an empire. Actually, as it happens, after the game came out, it turned out they kind of flubbed it a bit. And what they advertised was that you pick one and then that's how you do your empire. Actually, it's far more like you have to do all of them. And really, they're not optional. But we shall unlock them anyway. I can now build a church. Where shall I build my church? Well, I want to build it somewhere that's got space around it. But I'm spoilt for choice, really. So... actually, let's use this little bit. That's not a lot of space. But I don't need a lot of space, do I? Oh, let's have a lot of space. Church. And we'll have it about there. Okay, now, to build a church obviously takes some resources. We need 10 planks of wood. We need 10 stones. I've got plenty of each, so it really is just a question of waiting for people to show up. And while I wait for people to show up, I'm going to heat up my tea. Please wait around until you see what I'm going to do with this church. It's so nice. I'm just off to get Abby's cup of tea and offer to heat it up, and then I'm going to heat up mine. Okay, see you in just a moment. Wait, I'm singing along even though I haven't got my headphones on. I'm in a songy sort of mood. I've been recording all day, working on my new song for Alcon. No, not the Doctor Who one, another one. I've made another new song, and it's a secret.